call to order the December 15th, 2025 Zoning Board of Appeals, City of Glens Falls Zoning Board of Appeals meeting. We have established quorum. Oh, we have one more commissioner making their way up. We'll just take a pause. Right up here, Matt.
Sorry about it.
There's a full board here tonight. Wonderful. We have 3 items on the agenda this evening. The first order of business is the approval of the October 20th, 2025 meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion.
We have a motion on the floor. Second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you. We did not have a November meeting, so here we are. We have our first item tonight is area variance 25-001, Joshua Funk, lessee of tax map 302-12-7-24, commonly known as 26 Terracotta Ave. The applicant tonight is seeking 3 distinct area variances. The first is a side yard setback. He's requesting a 1-foot setback where 8 feet is required. So there he is seeking, the applicant is seeking 7 feet of relief. The second is a side yard setback of 6 inches requested, where I think is also 8 feet required there.
No, so the one where they're going for 6 inches, 8 feet is required. The one where they're going for 1 foot, 5 is required. It's the accessory structure.
Okay.
We talked about that briefly at the beginning of last.
Okay. So that is a request of
4 feet.
for the side yard setback of 1 foot.
Yes,
So 4
correct.
foot relief. Okay. And for the side yard setback of 6 inches, it is a 7.5
Correct.
foot relief. And then we're also requesting an area variance of 2 feet for an 8-foot fence where a 6-foot fence is allowed by right. Is the applicant here tonight?
Yes, I am.
All right, so you come and tell us a little bit about your project, state your name and address. I guess we know it,
Or
but.
should I stand?
All right, my name is Josh Funk. I live at 26 Terracotta Ave, Glens Falls. I'm hoping to upgrade my rundown fence from a 6-foot fence to an 8-foot fence. The 8-foot fence is for privacy. There is already an existing 8-foot fence in my neighborhood. It's directly across the front of my house. You can see it from my front porch, so it's nothing new. I do have signed letters. I do have signed letters from my neighbors saying that they're perfectly fine with the improvement of the fence up to an 8-foot fence. They have no qualms, and that is to my front neighbor, both sides, and behind me.
Your question, Walden.
Yes, yep.
And
they're all
look across the
included.
street too.
Yep, that's Rick. He's actually one of my next door
Yeah, I
neighbors,
live
and
next
that's
door.
Nancy and Jim. They're my other side neighbor. They're both here to support as well, saying that they're okay with it. The side yard variance where I'm requesting a 1-foot setback is for a hot tub. So I want to put the hot tub beside my deck, but it's between my deck and the fence. So the fence would block it from my neighbor. They would never see it. It wouldn't interfere with them or anything of that nature. It would just give me access from my deck into the hot tub. So that way I could have the hot tub raised and then not have people accessing it from the sides. They would have to go through the deck to get to it. It would just be a convenience thing and honestly just nice for quality of life. The other setback I'm requesting is for a carport. So my driveway is long and then it extends behind my house. Where it used to be a garage structure, tree fell in it a long time ago, they tore it down, but the slab's still there. So you drive past the house and then you have dual parking back there. It eats up like half my property that's available that's not eaten up by the house already. And my goal is to actually create a green space in the backyard. So I want to shorten my driveway and cut out that slab area where the garage used to be to have green space, but I have a slate roof. And as everybody knows, a slate roof dumps snow and slate and anything else that's on it right onto whatever vehicle's parked next to the house. So I'm either replacing the whole roof or I'm building a little carport over the driveway. The biggest issue with building the carport over the driveway is, of course, it's almost right on the property line, like it's close, the 6 inches setback. And then, of course, the water that would come off of the carport. So I plan on creating a drainage system away from my neighbor's property into the backyard, so that way he's not affected by all the rain runoff, and that way I can reuse the rain runoff in the backyard,
Sorry, set up
garden,
for
green
that
space.
remark. Dave, did that,
Excuse me, could you wait?
Drainage?
We'll have that, we'll have time for public comment in a moment. We just need that for note taking. Thank you.
Was there a question about drainage, I heard?
Oh, you can continue. We'll have questions after.
Okay, so yeah, my intent is to create a drainage system on the carport in the form of a gutter, and then run that down into the backyard, so that way I can utilize the water for garden, green space, etc., instead of having it run off into my neighbor's property. But those are my 3 requests. Those are my reasons for the requests, and happy to answer any questions you guys may have.
Do you have a survey?
I don't yet. I wanted to see if this was viable before I paid the $3,000 that I was quoted for a survey. I'm happy to do it because this is something that I want to do, but surveys aren't cheap.
They're not, but if you're proposing to place structures that close to your neighbor's property, you would need to get a survey.
No, absolutely. And I would have
It
it
would be
fully
hard.
marked, and then I would come in the allotted amount that I'm allowed.
It would be hard for us to say you can put a structure here at this size, you know, without the actual dimensions. It's unclear if this would actually fit there.
For sure.
Coming so
And
close to the
honestly,
edge.
if, with the carport specifically, if it turns out that I don't have the width for the carport, then my other option would be to replace my slate roof. So I do have a backup plan if this one's not viable, but I wanted to see if I could do the carport first. And then if you guys approved it, yeah, as long as you stay within these dimensions, stay within the 6 inches off the property line, and obviously I can fit my vehicle underneath of it comfortably, then I would get the survey, verify that everything's correct, and do it in proper order, working with the building and codes department to make sure everything's kosher.
Okay.
Have you reviewed percentage of coverage proposed versus existing?
So I was talking with building and codes about what was going on there. So I did actually take away a portion of the deck that was rotting off the house as just a demo project, which opened up a percentage available for my property. And then if I'm allowed to do the green space, that would actually open up a lot more of the property as well. But I believe that when we talked about it, I'm still within what was allotted.
There's no way this is
No,
less than 35%.
The stance from building and codes was that if he added more green space and didn't add any impervious surface, that it would be an improvement on the property.
Oh,
As
carport.
proposed, this proposal right here is way over 35%.
Well, the carport's over an existing driveway, so it wouldn't actually add any more impermeable surface. The
Okay.
only spot
Okay.
that would be the hot tub, and it's 8 by 12.
I would say if we're, you would have to do the green space first. I would say for this proposal to be,
It would be an in tandem project on my end. I would want to do them both at the same time, because when I redo the carport, I would want a new driveway, because my driveway's all
okay.
rooted up and
So-
things like that, so it would be all at once.
So the proposal's a couple points. One in this is there's no change proposed for the area of the driveway, just in materiality.
Just shortening it
Oh, so,
for
okay,
the green
right.
space.
So what's the, I guess what I would wanna know is what's the delta? Given the plus and the minus, where are you today and where will you be for coverage? Cause I know, hey, let's say I'm 32%, I'm gonna be 37%, then that's something that also put in for a variance, whatever. That's
Okay.
all. I think
So
that's-
I would be giving up a 25 by 25 pad
This is,
into
this is
green
going to
space
become green
from the
space.
back of the property.
This
Right.
is now,
It could
I mean, I would say
Black
it's
out.
proposed to become green space. That would have to be definitely
Could-
part of this.
Right.
yeah.
So I think
No.
there's some sort of like contingencies with what you're talking about,
Yeah.
like, hey, we're,
Yep.
like I love, you know, personally for me, I'm very like, sensitive to drainage onto other people's properties, that's like private companies, etc. That's one of my things that I look for. So the things you're proposing, I think are very sensitive and, nice, considering you're gonna be so close, you don't wanna then disturb your neighbors with water. For me, that would wanna be a contingency that I would wanna ride around for the acceptance if we go forward.
No, happy
Just
to
because
do
you're
that.
so close, I think that that's one of the reasons of setbacks, for example. So when you encroach further and closer, I think that that's something to give back.
No, absolutely. Yep, and that's why I had it written in there is that I wanted to ensure that the drainage wasn't encroaching on him, and that I do want to create the green space because A, I want it for my own backyard.
Sure.
It's nice, I have a dog, she loves to run around, you know? But B, that's currently my parking. So I need to figure out the alternative in order to create the green space.
Is this a driveway? Or is this
No,
just-
so the driveway is actually right here.
Yeah, but what
And
is,
it goes back here.
Yeah.
This is the house.
oh, your
itself.
house goes up to the
Yep,
front
that's
there?
the ridge, it comes off both sides there.
Huh, okay. Oh, I see, it's the trees blocking you. You're going up to the front there.
Table this for him to get the other percentages. Yeah, but he's got every single neighbor in acceptance of it, and there's other.
And it's
To
just
me,
replacing an existing fence as well.
Initially, I would have agreed with you, but considering everybody in
We
their,
wanna
everybody
have-
in their,
could we have a
their best friend's
discussion for
neighbors
the-
here
for
to
the board?
defend it, I don't.
We, we need to have a discussion for the board, not between the individual commissioners, please.
Mm-hmm.
Do commissioners have any questions for the applicant? Any discussion?
Are we thinking, I'm just gonna speak out loud for a second, are we thinking that we're going to be tabling this pending him to get a survey and confirm the percentages, if not change the application to include that for a side variance?
Is it possible to make it contingent on getting a survey?
It would be a
Well,
conditional,
that's
a
fine.
conditional approval, and you set the conditions,
Mhm.
subject to permits issued by building and codes. So in order for him to get the building permit for the carport or for the hot tub pad, he would have to present a survey to building and codes which demarks the exact property lines.
Happy to do
In my opinion, that is something that should come in front of the zoning board in this application
I mean,
packet. We should be having a survey and a site plan.
I don't know if that's I wouldn't necessarily say the contingency of that, but that it would sit with percentages, I think, that's in and of itself a variance. So I think that should be documented to note it, that's all.
Just a question, clarification. So what's the difference in your mind, like, between him, the contingent idea of the survey versus him giving it to us?
Because we don't see it. We won't see those dimensions. We won't see the actual, like this doesn't have actual dimensions and how and where it's laid out on the site. This is a drawing without any.
Do you know the dimensions of your carport that you could tell the board?
So my truck is 22 foot long, so I would want a 25 foot long carport. That
By
would
how
allow the-
wide?
Yeah.
It would be within 6 inches of the property, so if I could squeak out 9 or 10 feet, I would like to do the 9 or 10 feet. If it falls short of 9 foot, then I wouldn't do the carport because it wouldn't be feasible to fit the truck inside.
Is a carport, you need a building permit for that?
It'd be attached to the principal structure, you need a building permit and signed and stamped plans by an engineer and architect.
Yep, but happy to do all of the above.
I didn't know that the carport, no, it depends on what it's made of, et cetera, I didn't know.
Anything over 100 square feet that's attached to your house, you have to get.
I didn't know it was
set up
attached,
plans.
that's all. Yep.
So we're being asked to approve something that we don't actually know what the dimensions
Right.
are going to be.
I agree. I'd rather table it to get all the actual, I mean, so what's useful about this for you, I would say, is you're hearing what we're kind of like, wanting to know a little bit more.
Sure.
But, I mean, from my perspective, I think you've done a lot of things that are sensitive to what happens when you get too close to a neighbor. You also have a lot of good neighbor support for some of the things that we might be concerned about. So, you could maybe table it and get the information and then get a whole package. And it'd be great if everybody shows up or gives a letter, or any of those things are fine.
Letters are.
Yeah, so that's, to me, that's as good as somebody being here personally.
Can I ask you a question? Because you're talking about percentages as far as
Yep.
non-permeable space.
Yep.
The only addition to the non-permeable space that I'm doing would be where the hot tub is.
Right,
Because
then,
the carport's already over driveway and everything
Right,
like
right.
that. So just,
so if you're getting the green back, you're actually improving upon your net.
right, yeah.
Right, so you could just
that's what
note
I
that.
wanted to-
That helps you in your
Okay.
application.
He did know.
No, I know, he
Oh.
yeah, but he doesn't have like percentages and things like
Yeah.
that, noting it.
If you could
Which is
show
what-
that, you'd actually have more green space.
You know what I'm saying?
You can
Like,
move
it's
this
just-
dimension was, you know.
It's like mentioned, but it's not in the
Yeah,
format that we're looking at, percentages and things like
I was
that.
just hoping
Well, this
for
is
like
what
the
he's
survey
putting back.
portion
Yeah.
until,
No, I mean, visually, I
Yeah,
totally
yay or
agree with you.
nay.
That's why I wanted to know if you had it
Dictates.
calculated, because I didn't see that. Yeah, I think,
So with the survey side of things, would you be okay if I put in what my desired dimensions or minimum
Absolutely.
dimensions, maximum dimensions are instead of getting the survey at the moment? And then if you guys improve it contingent on a
There you
survey
go.
based on those dimensions,
okay with
could we
that.
move forward like that?
I'm
Because
okay
then
with that
you
personally.
get
Right.
the dimensions so you can see what it's gonna look like.
Yeah.
You're gonna get your percentages to see what the non-permeable surface addition would look like. And then, as long as the survey comes back and it says, yeah, I
Agreed.
have that much space, then I do it.
Yep.
If not, then I just replace my roof and nix the carport.
I mean,
Okay.
Because for me, I gotta make sure the carport stays within my property.
Of
I have
course.
to make sure the drainage goes somewhere proper.
Yep.
And I have to make sure my truck fits. Like,
I
those are
agree with
the
all three of your
bottom
precepts.
line pieces, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm staying 15 feet back from the roadway, so I'm not encroaching on my front setback at all. And then it's just the side setback, but I need to make sure that I have the proper amount of space for my truck.
Hmm?
But I wanna get the approval before I drop the $3,000 on a survey when I
Agreed.
might not even end up doing
Yeah.
that.
you don't wanna spend that and be like, hey, by the way, we really look at it anyway.
Exactly. That was my thought process.
To me, it really wasn't that, per Karen's point, that it is visually, it looks like you're improving upon your net area. So to me, it's just more like putting it down there, like, hey, look, I'm also going far here. Hey, I know I'm asking for a variance here, I'm pulling the water inboard, all that. Just, I would have the contingency for that, for the bringing the water inboard, you've already noted it. It would just be, that, for me. But, yeah, I mean, I have no issue if this, then that approval kind of thing. Sure.
I even put a little gutter in the picture. Those are fun to do. It was the best visual I could come up with. You know what I mean?
So the width of the carport's gonna be less 6 inches from the property line.
Right.
So
As long
could
as
be
it fits the
8.5
vehicle, it'll be alright.
feet, could be 9 feet, could be 9.25, whatever you have, 6 inches off of that survey line.
Exactly. I'll put what a minimum requirement for the vehicle space is going to be, and if it doesn't allot to that with the property line, then
Yep.
don't do it.
Yeah. Got it.
My only question is, can the hot tub be placed somewhere else on the property?
So there's not any other ideal location the way the property is laid out.
I mean,
I'm out back here, where just above between the blue and the green.
he's already getting positive
So that's
with the,
That's where the
Permeable,
walkway
so-
from the driveway comes into the back porch area. So then you're either pushing it in like the middle of the backyard. So I was trying to put it off to the side as much as possible, kind of just like tuck it away. So that way it's not like the focal point when you walk in my backyard, hey, there's a hot tub in the middle. Like I was trying to avoid that. Keep it off to the side. I have a gate that goes across right there at the edge of my house that fully fences in the property and everything like that, so I was hoping to keep it just.
can I just ask if your neighbor who is right next to where that hot tub would be is present?
That's these two right here.
No objections?
No objections.
And I told them they can go stand up anytime they want.
That's a little TMI.
Oh.
What happens between your 8-foot fences?
I like a little humor, I'm sorry.
It's cool. Yeah, I mean, every single person around him has no problem with the things that might be sensitive to his neighbors.
So one other thing, we talk about neighborhood character,
Yep.
and it's even written in, I don't know if it's the zoning district, but a lot of the zoning districts have garage structures go in the backyard. And that's, you see that a lot in the neighborhood a lot. This house historically had one. If you're just if this is just a single car carport, have you thought about just building a single car garage in the back?
So
Or
I
a
would
carport in the back?
I would need setbacks on both of the back corners, and then it would also kill the idea of having a lot of green space.
Well, if it's just a single car or a carport, you would get more green space than what you probably have now.
But not the entire width of the backyard, which is
Sure.
what I was going for.
Okay, but when we talk about area variances, we do need to talk about, can this be achieved in some other way that doesn't require, I mean, I guess that one still require variance, but it's more in keeping with
That's why I
the
said that's what
zoning
it
and
is.
how our neighborhood character is.
So on here, right where the blue ends, I have a key across here.
Okay?
And my goal is to
We don't know
mark
who needs
the
it.
gate and just use the rolling gate to come in.
I'm
Okay.
going
And
with
then
the
my
doesn't.
dog can run around in
Oh,
here,
no.
and I don't ever have a risk of her getting
A
out.
variance,
Okay.
that's a
Yes.
Whereas I would
setback
have
variance,
to
not an area
open the
variance.
gate, come in, close the gate after.
So area variance is.
It's viable, I'm not
The
dismissing that in any
distance
way, it's just, this is
Okay.
my
I'm
thought
thinking
process of how I came to the
percentage
decision.
of percentage.
So you're really customizing this house.
Trying
Are
to,
you gonna stay here?
yes.
You're a renter that, you rent, or you?
I'm in the process of purchasing. it.
Oh, okay, from the current owner?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
She's a friend of
Ooh,
mine.
Gotcha,
that-
okay, that makes more sense.
She gave permission.
Yes, all
Yeah,
of
that's what I
the
thought.
home purchase will come before all of the work.
Okay, understood.
I'm just trying to make sure I get
Mhm.
to all the things that I want to do
Okay.
as a new homeowner.
Okay, great. Any other questions from the commissioners? Okay, any public comment?
Oh, back here.
As far as survey goes, at one point in time, there was a survey done of our properties. Mayor Bart decided to build a house on Douglas Street, and John, who was the building inspector at the time, shut it down quick. Because part of the carport that he wanted to put on was actually encumbered another person's property. And I looked at the designs and I said, no. So he said, nothing's gonna happen until there's a survey done. So our places, my place, I believe, Josh's place, were anchors for when they do the survey.
Mhm.
So the city should have some type of survey done on that because of what was done.
You can check with the clerk,
So-
or if you know who the surveyor was,
That, it was so long,
I know.
it was so long ago that I can't tell you the name of the surveyor, but I do know our property lines.
Yeah, it just, if you, the surveyors keep that information so you can get a better deal that way. But you could check with the clerk, she may have there may be, and it's not there. Yeah.
I mean, there was a county.
We're always ecstatic when that happens.
So you know what, when you're calling surveyors around here, check and see if they have existing data for your property. If they have,
3, and they do not so
no,
far.
okay,
These are all things that I've been trying to
okay,
facilitate for a couple months now.
okay. All right.
Can I just finish, like, comment? Like,
Sure.
what about the land on current owner's deed would have the square footage and like
The meets and bounds.
and the county tax map? It has to
Would it
exist
have
because that
The
property's getting
boundaries that a
assessed.
survey would?
It wouldn't have the pin though to find that line.
No, but it would be close enough. I mean, if the current owner is being assessed,
If we're asking to place a structure 6 inches from the line, we can't have close enough. There's gonna be,
no, but I mean,
too close
it's
of a.
gonna be a start of.
Yeah.
If it's assessed
I
property,
think when
then
you're
you
building
have to
close, you
have
do want to
dimensions.
make sure you're not
Yeah.
on somebody else's property.
In the deed,
Oh,
yeah.
I thought my property was.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good place to
Somebody
start.
else's property,
Yeah,
for
Pins
sure.
on
The
mine.
county tax map.
They came through and translated for some reason. Someone must have been surveying all of the corners. and it was a pin.
Look and
I
see if
think
there's
anytime you're
any.
getting really close, you should.
I just had one
Yeah.
screwing.
Okay, any other public comment? So, in based on discussion tonight,
But, this was referred to the Warren County Planning Department, and the Warren County Planning Department has noted, finds that the proposed action has no significant intercommunity or countywide impact. With respect to seeker, I would classify this as a type 2 action under section 615.5 C17, as it's the granting of an area variance for a single-family, two-family, or three-family residence. Therefore, no further action is required under seeker.
That's good.
just procedure. So, based on our information tonight, are we tabling the carport? What's that? Go
Do
ahead.
you want to give a preemptive vote to show approval indication so that, I think that's what he's looking for.
I don't.
It's not necessarily a vote official, but he wants to understand our position before he spends money, and then we say, well, we would have said no matter what. I think based on the things he's discussed and the proposal, are we in support of this with that in general if it were to come back confirming what his assumptions are? And I think that's legitimate, like, before you spend a whole bunch of money. And we can't give a formal vote, but are there any
You
commissioners that want to
can
speak?
give a formal vote if you want to do a conditional approval,
Okay,
under the conditions that were outlined
Yeah,
earlier.
yeah, so,
That a survey is done.
right.
And before, you know the approximate dimensions of the
Mhm.
carport, 9 or 10
Mhm.
feet by 22, and it will be no closer than 6 inches to the property line. That the green space will be increased and the drainage will go to the backyard and not onto the neighbors. I think those were the conditions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Subject to the survey, verification, and building permits being issued.
I'm okay with that.
I mean, I think that's in good faith, we could do that, it sounds like that's what you're looking for.
Yes.
You're agreeable to those?
Yeah, I'm happy to get the survey, I'm happy to provide dimensions, percentages for permeability, everything you guys are requesting, I'm happy to provide, I just wanna know that it's,
Yep.
I would request to alter the contingency for the green space, that the removal of the slab in the back occurs before construction. That way it's guaranteed that it is going to be removed.
it will, absolutely, because I gotta strip the whole driveway in order to rebuild the driveway to put the carport over the new driveway. So that would be the order of operations.
So you want to put that to a vote now, a conditional vote?
So this will be, this is for the carport, side yard, the setback for the carport, which is the 6-inch side yard setback relief where 10 is required? So
8 is required.
I'm seeing 10, okay.
No, 8 feet is on the east, and so he's asking for 7 feet, 6
7 and a half
inches relief.
And fence as well.
So, we haven't even discussed the fence yet. These are 3 different area variances.
Understood.
Okay.
I thought you were summarizing all the
Nope,
variances.
we're talking about the singular one.
Okay.
All right,
We do 3 different votes. Okay.
there are 3 different area variances, yes.
Okay. I don't think you've ever done that. Okay.
Yeah, no, we did it.
We haven't even
October.
discussed the other 2. Okay, can we stop with the side discussion? If you'd like to make a motion, please go ahead.
I'll make a motion for a conditional vote for the area variance, for the
Is
setbacks.
it a conditional vote or are we making a motion with these conditions?
It's a
It's-
a motion with conditions. A
Okay.
motion for approval subject to the following conditions.
Just on the side yard, on the east side, right? There's 3 different variances, that's what,
We're talking about the carport request right now.
correct.
That is the request with these conditions. If Anton would like to make a motion, please do so.
I'm making a motion for the conditional vote for approval of the proposition with these conditions met.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor for an approval of the side yard setback for the carport with the conditions previously listed. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. We also have a side yard setback for, request for 1 foot where
Mhm.
5
Yes,
5 feet is required. This is for the hot tub, so we're asking for a 4-foot relief on this. Do we have any questions for the applicant? No? Okay, any public comment on this? No, okay.
Just a quick clarifying question. So all those conditions are for that one variance, these other ones just straight, or this one we're discussing now is just straight, no conditions?
Yeah,
Cool, thanks.
I mean, unless there are
Right.
questions, yeah.
Well, I guess that would be tied to the survey also. I mean, if
Yeah.
all of a sudden
Yeah,
it shows
you're
his
right.
property,
You're right.
like,
I would think all of the conditions that you
Exactly.
listed apply to all three variances.
I agree.
Thanks.
Okay, sure. And
Yep.
then we'll, okay. I just don't. I don't know if it's relevant to the fence. I'll invite a motion to the floor.
I'll make a motion.
second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, we have a third variance we're asking for an 8-foot fence where a 6-foot is allowed by right. So this is an area variance of 2 feet.
For me, this would be a point that I'd be sensitive to, but given he's got literally, no offense, it seems like you have every single person around you that seems to, and you have one that's existing in your area. Generally, I'm sensitive to this, but everybody seems to have absolutely no problem with it. So for me, that says a lot.
I'd much rather see a 6-foot fence than 8-foot.
I agree. We've approved far too many fences that
That's true.
have, it's death by 1,000 cuts with fences. It's really impacting the.
Can I make one comment before you guys decide? So the reason that I want an 8-foot fence is because when you're standing in your first floor of your house, because all the houses on my street have elevated foundations, and they all have the 4-foot up front porch and all that kind of stuff. From your front window, you can see directly over my 6-foot fence, almost up to the fence line. And that is why I was seeking 8-foot fence. It's a small lot. I was hoping for some privacy. That's why I did have my neighbors get back up.
Yeah, my yard is like in the back, 1 to 2 feet higher than this. So it's like a 4-foot fence, a 6-foot would be.
My property is the low spot, so it's like all of my perimeter neighbors can see directly over the 6-foot existing fence. So I was hoping to get the 8-foot fence in order to get some privacy. I know I'm in town, and privacy is not really a thing, but that's why I was hoping for the 8-foot.
I don't disagree at all with, like, we probably have done too many, I probably have voted for some myself, but I guess I would suggest maybe this might be one where it makes sense. But again, understanding there's, just because of this specific circumstance.
I see.
I mean, my neighbor is, I don't live in your ward, but I live in the 5th ward, so, I mean, my neighbors are right on top of me too, so I understand what you're saying, but.
You're thinking it's going to further establish precedents, further
Correct.
maybe create walls and barriers where we're trying to create it a little more open.
That's correct. Fair point.
Speaking for you.
Thank you.
My problem with the 8-foot fence is the front section, that 8 to 10 feet that runs parallel to the front sidewalk. I'm not a big fan of.
So it is set back from the sidewalk a good 8 to 10 feet, and there is shrubbery already in front.
Okay.
That allows it to have a better aesthetic image. And the neighbor directly across the street, I do have a sign letter from him as well, saying that they have no issues with it, but it's just that small stretch. The neighbors behind me have a pool, so it grants them privacy as well, because then I wouldn't be able to see down into their backyard. And then both of these guys have already stated that they're happy with it as well. And it would be a brand new, nice wooden fence, whereas it's currently run down.
You're replacing it regardless, 6 or 8.
Yeah.
Just being, keeping it real, that's all.
Well, it's a matter of replacing the one really bad side or replacing the entirety. And I'm hoping to replace the entirety. Even if it was replace all but that one front section, I'd be okay with that. Just mainly the sides, just because, we can see up top.
Does it make, procedurally, does it make sense to make a motion? I'll make a motion to grant the 8-foot fence variance.
A second bit.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
No.
What is it? What's our count there?
It does not pass. You need 4 for
Four.
approval. So the fence variance was denied.
Fence variance is denied, but your side yard setback, the 2 variances have been approved, with conditions. So you can see Devin and the building and codes as early as tomorrow to talk that through.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anything else from you, or am I?
Nope, I think you're okay. Thank you very much. Okay, sorry, we said it at the same time. Where's my agenda? Where did it sit? There you go. All right, our second item on the agenda tonight is area variance 25-0018, Andrea Harwood, owner of tax map number 309.28-6-5, commonly known as 16 School Street. The applicant seeking an area variance from relief for a density requirement, which has a requirement of 25 square feet for each unit. There is currently a 4-unit multifamily dwelling. The applicant seeks to convert this to a 5-unit multifamily dwelling. And is the applicant here this evening?
Yes.
Hi. Please come up and tell us a little about your project.
So my name is Andrea Harwood. And this would be turning a 4-unit property into a 5-unit property. The changes would be very little because the first floor is currently a large 3-bedroom, 1 unit, and I would be turning that into 2 1-bedroom units. So it sounds like I would be adding a lot. I would not be adding a lot. In fact, the number of humans living there would remain the same. So it would actually be very little change. It would be improving upon the property. It's a beautiful old 1920s Victorian property with this beautiful staircase going up. I'm already talking to contractors, and I'm going to be keeping the old, the molding and a lot of that. And so that's my request. Turn it into a 5-unit. Provide good housing for more people in our wonderful little town.
What is the square footage of the 2?
Downstairs is around 1,500 square feet, so it would be roughly half each,
Okay.
give or take. Not much. It would be about
So
yeah.
750 is
6, 7
size. Any questions from the board?
Do you have parking spaces?
I don't, so my next step after this, I would be going before the planning. But this is my step 1. There is the Clinton Avenue garage directly across the street, there's Elm Tree parking, and there's an empty lot that I'm currently in talks with, that I'd love to get my hands on. So there's parking options. I don't want to expand parking on the property, it's a beautiful property, it has a little bit of green space, some hedges, and I don't want to disturb that, because it's pretty as it is.
How many parking spaces do you have today?
1,
I've got a question for you.
yes,
We've run into parking issues
Yep.
going
Yes.
forward. Would it be a terrible inconvenience to run this by the planning board first and then come back and ask for your variances?
I don't mind the inconvenience. I was advised by people wiser than me to check with the ZBA first. I don't mind going before the planning board. I'm just trying to do it in the proper order
She'll have to go
for people
second.
smarter than me.
I think this would be required. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Space.
So there already are 4 units with, and they exist with 1 parking.
Correct.
1 parking spot, so adding, if there aren't more people, you really probably, it's the same.
1.5
Yep.
per unit is
Yep.
required.
Yeah, but clearly this unit is existing with 1 parking spot already with this number of people. So I don't know that from our perspective, will impact the.
Well, you'll need more parking because it's per unit, not per number of occupants total, but I understand your point that they're
Yes.
well over deficient, whatever,
And we don't-
existing.
And parking's planning board, so,
What's that?
parking is planning board, so.
Yep.
Any discussion or questions from the board?
You're not changing the macro of the building. It's a gut interior. So, anything, no.
Do you have any comments from the public here tonight? Oh,
Yes.
Could you state your name and address for the board?
Yeah, Jim Hume, I own 72 South Street, which is right next to the empty lot, and I believe, is that the lot you're talking about for parking, or?
Yes, I'm eyeballing that lot.
Right,
I'd love to have a conversation.
okay. Yes, because to enter that property, you have to go on my property.
Are you the big one or the little one?
We're Bastard Resto Bar.
Oh, you're, okay, great, okay.
So, right, and in the deed, we have to maintain 10%, or 10 feet on our driveway to start with to access that part, that area.
Okay.
And I believe in that too, that we also have like 2 parking spots or something. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'd love to talk to you about it too.
Yeah.
Because I've been eyeing the property too.
The city owns it.
The city owns a small one, and then
In
right
the
next
back.
to it,
Yeah.
yeah, and then right next to it is another one. So it's like thirds, 2/3 one guy, 1/3 the city, give or take, would you say?
Yes, yeah. And the city's been very gracious to us to let us
Yes.
use that back empty spot. It used to be a house there to park our vehicles for the workers, so because there's not a lot of parking around there for customers.
Well, can I,
Have you recently bought that, or have you had it for a while, that
I've
house?
had it for a short while, and now I'm moving forward on renovating it and making it really nice.
Yeah, and I
I
would
love
love to
this
see
property.
it with people in it. You know,
Yeah.
I don't like an empty house there, you know.
It's a nice looking property, isn't it, with the hedges and on
Yeah.
the corner, it's very cool.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. No referrals,
No, it's not referred to Warren County Planning. With respect to seeker, I would classify this again as a type 2 action under section 617.5 C17. It's the granting of an area variance for a single-family 2 or multifamily residence.
I'll make a motion to grant the area variance for relief from the density requirement to convert this property 4-unit to a 4-unit multifamily dwelling to a 5-unit multifamily dwelling.
I'll second that. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries.
Awesome. Is next up planning?
Come back to me.
Sounds good. Thank you, Deb. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Last item tonight, we have area variance 25-0019, Sean Mahadeo, owner of tax map number 302-.16-4-26, commonly known as 5 Logan Ave. Tonight, the applicant's represented by Ethan Hall of Luzinski Hall Architecture. The applicant is seeking variances to construct a single-family dwelling with a rear yard setback at 8 feet, a side yard setback at 6 feet 2 inches, and a 2 side yard setbacks, 6 feet 2 inches and 6 feet 6 inches, 7 feet are required on both sides.
8 feet is required.
8 feet are required. And then what's the backyard is?
Rear yard is 25.
Oh, right, it's big there. 25 is required for the rear yard setback.
I'm sorry?
25 front.
Back is
Okay, take it away.
Good evening. For your records, my name is Ethan Hall. I'm the principal with Mazinski Hall Architecture. With me tonight is Sean Mahadio, the owner of the property at 5 Logan Avenue. This is the property that used to be the old wallpaper barn. If anybody's been here as long as I have, you remember that big red barn that used to sit right across the street from the school? Yep, that's the one. And that occupied pretty much all of the lot at the time. It has since been torn down, and Sean is looking to put up a building here that would be basically a carriage house that's got garage space underneath with an apartment over the top of the back portion of the building. There would be a couple of garage doors that are going to face Logan Avenue. We are looking to get a couple of area variances for side yard. The side yard setbacks are 8 feet, as Allison said. We're looking for 6'2" on the north side and 6'6" on the south side. The rear property setback is 25 feet, which is required, and we're looking for 8 feet on the closest corner, and we're 15 feet 9 inches on the back corner. There are going to be a couple of eave trenches that run along the sides of the building, which will collect the rainwater. We're going to put a dry well up front and permeable pavement so that we can absorb the water and get it into the ground.
The garage doors are gonna face the street?
Yes.
Just a quick question for you. Is there any way to sort of, as far as like the house side, obviously you're going a lot into the rear. Is there any way to sort of just frankly shrink it so that it doesn't, you don't need as much of that?
This is what Sean has asked me to put together. So can we make it smaller? If it's smaller, it won't, I guess, fit the needs of what he's looking for. So being able to put, he has a big truck with a trailer. The equipment was sitting on the lot. The city asked him to take the equipment off the lot, which he's done. There's nothing there now. He just needs a place to get the equipment inside, which is, that's what.
Thanks.
And in addition to storing your truck,
It's a residential truck, it's not like a dump truck.
No.
It's like a Denali, like 25 minutes, a brand new truck, and it's a utility trailer.
and would the second floor be used for residential?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
Okay.
Your trailer will fit inside?
Yeah, it's just a utility trailer, it's 6x12. Yeah, it's not like a dump
The
trailer.
city asked you to move it?
Yeah, they told me that it's, before I bought it, there used to be like trucks parked on it, and then recently,
Can't leave utility.
yeah, they made me move my trailer and everything goes there.
It's currently all grass right there, so that's why we're.
Okay.
My biggest concern about this density, my biggest concern about the density of this proposal, you're addressing pretty aggressively with the trenching and the storage. I mean, that's about as much you can do, more permeable in the front with pavers. Given what you're doing and asking, that's the best you can ask for, relatively speaking, in response to that. So I appreciate that. I'm gonna just say it's pretty tight. Like, it is taking up a lot, but it is a small lot, and you want, it is what it is. I'm just speaking candidly of the pros and the cons. That's all.
In looking back at it in time historically, I think the barn that was on there before went pretty much right to the top.
Yeah, pretty much, plus or minus.
Yeah. I tried to go back and find an aerial photo. The aerial photos go back as far as 2009, and it was still empty at that point.
Right.
I couldn't find anything prior to that.
I
I don't know exactly when the old barn was down.
Do you have any information from your neighbors about that? Not that you're gonna really be impacting on the fact that you're doing the trenching to bring the water out, so that's very sensitive, and I appreciate that. But I don't know if there is
I
anyone.
was gonna say, I live at 27 Sanford Street, so I am across the street from him, basically. And where I live, there's a storm drain, and every time it rains really, really heavily, shut up, Siri. Sorry. Every time it rains, you get a puddle that's at least this deep already in front of my house. So the stormwater drainage through our neighborhood is already maxed out. In fact, they tried a couple of years ago to try to repair that. They could only come so far because they couldn't get the variance to get through on one of the side streets to get into the back lot where they own. 27R Sanford behind us. So you add more drainage into that, and it's going to still have to drain out into Gage Street, and it's still going to end up in all of the drainage, and it's going to add extra water to a system that's already very, very strained. Thank you.
And may I add, since I live at 10 Monroe, but I have a backyard, I'm Debbie Mulcahy, sorry. I have a backyard that's not too big, but then I border 11 properties in the back. And so my backyard has an address of 27R Sanford behind John. So in 1988, the city came through Gage Avenue with heavy equipment and built a crushed stone road through that entire 27R Sanford, laid down storm sewer pipes that are huge. I have 2 large vaults with manhole covers in my yard, and the neighbor on the other side has 1 or 2 in theirs, and it goes out to Chester Street, where you probably, on the city board, you probably know all about by Taylor's house. But what happens is, can I get up and show you here? Because I think it's going to change your mind of wanting to do this. So the storm sewer pipes come through my backyard from 27 at an angle.
This is the commercial space so okay. Sanford Street is out here.
Sanford Street, okay, so I'm trying to.
The school is here.
Okay, so as this comes through my yard, and it does flood about every July 3rd or 4th when we get torrential rain. We've canoed in my backyard. And so the city storm sewer drains are through there. It feeds Halfway Brook. There used to be a river there in my backyard that people had fished in as kids. So the water table was extremely high. And when the storm sewer pipes were put in, the city wanted to come through a second time and do it again. And we said, no, it was torn up for almost 2 years in my backyard. So now what happens by John's house, and right on this corner where you want to, okay, this is Logan, so where am I here? This is the corner?
This is the commercial,
So Sanford is here. Okay, so the school is there. So right here is where it floods. And there are already storm sewer pipes. There's one big manhole cover in John's driveway. And it floods, and it goes under the corner of the old Serigraphics, right through by where Frazier's Paint and Paper was, and out to Bay Street Cemetery. So you wanting to dig that up and put a dry well in there, you're gonna hit storm sewer pipes that are owned by the city. And you're gonna have a major problem.
They don't show up on any survey.
Oh, no, yeah, they are there. You go down to the water department and you will find that whole map through there.
We talked to them already.
We would approve it.
Yeah, well,
So I can get some information on that for you, but.
you better do it, yes. And the other thing
They were the
is,
first ones we went to, actually.
the other thing is,
I mean, I
right
think
now,
it's
the
too dense,
congestion on
personally.
Sanford Street is so bad at either 8 o'clock or 3 o'clock because of the school. And I know that
No, I
most
get
is
that,
on
but it's
most of the time to Saratoga. But we have a lot of congestion, and Logan is one way. So it is really difficult to get out on Logan, and you have to go that way.
It goes the other way.
It goes this way. Here's your business, so it comes here
That's all you
and
can
here.
ask for is
Okay, but it does impede him.
Well, that's, I mean.
But I have things parked there.
But, okay, so this
congestion
gentleman's
is-
the property owner, he can make his own decision about whether or not the traffic is too much for him there.
Well, the traffic is too much for the neighbors.
Okay,
But it's
one-
a single family residence, you're talking
Now,
one
you said-
vehicle. I mean, we're not talking 50
Yeah, you
vehicles, we're
said-
talking
I agree.
one
Okay,
vehicle.
you said apartment?
No.
Yeah, It's
For
his.
one, for him.
You said apartment, is it a one-family residence, and are you going to live there?
It's two bedrooms, yeah.
2 bedrooms with an apartment above the garage.
It's a residential unit
It's like
above a
carriage
garage.
house.
Okay, is that?
His residential
It's
unit
a home.
above
It's a
his
single
garage.
family.
It's a
home.
single-family residence on a single-family
You call it a
lot,
carriage house.
which is an
because
allowed
that's-
use in the zone.
It's,
Okay, is it zoned for light commercial?
It's not like commercial,
it's
it's
not like
single-family
commercial.
residence.
This is
It
a
is
residential
residential
unit
area?
in a residential area
It is.
for a
residential?
single-family residential application. There's no change in that.
Your
I just- I-
R1,
I'm still
your R1B,
not in
right,
favor.
Ethan?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Flooding
You're fine
along
with that. For occupancy type, it's fine.
Is this public comment period?
Suppose so, yes.
I'm Brian Bickford, 26 Sanford Street. I live on the lake as well. Anybody in the water department knows me.
Knows all of us,
The current
yeah.
mayor, the mayor-elect, we're very good
Frank
friends.
O'Keefe.
What he's proposing, 24 Sanford Street, the building that houses the barber shop and all that stuff. I had to sell property so that the guy could buy it. He's literally on a postage stamp. There's no room between him and me. Now, on Ogden Street, there's an apartment house. It's also right on top of me. Now, he wants to build a building right on top of me, above my 6-foot fence. He's gonna be looking right in, he's right on top of me. I've got 2 other properties right on top of me already. The drainage, like they said, is ridiculous. I've already got people right on top of me. Where he's gonna be raised, he's gonna be looking right, that 6-foot fence is ineffective at that point, except for keeping my dog around. He doesn't meet any of the criteria for zoning, none of it. And all you're doing is setting precedents to, hey, anything goes.
I will make a statement that the decisions we make here tonight do not set a precedence. We don't set legal precedents with our decisions. This is the gentleman has the application here that we're reviewing.
And we've got neighbors all around.
Okay.
We're all here for this one purpose.
Okay.
And we're opposed.
Okay. So you're the one, you're.
I just rather you speak for yourself,
I'm
that's
right
all.
behind him.
Okay.
No offense. I mean, you spoke for yourself.
Yep.
And I appreciate,
Sure.
you're absolutely within your rights to speak as a neighbor, and it does impact you, and I appreciate that.
It
Just don't speak
impacts-
for everybody, just
It
speak for
impacts me
yourself.
incredibly.
That's
I'm talking for just myself.
Okay.
It's ridiculous. I mean, the property, the size of the building on that property, no.
I mean,
Not to mention, 20, by the way, my name's John Newman, I live at 27 Sanford Street, I don't think I ever said that. Where he's proposing to, right now, if you go over and look at the lots, there's already a 7, almost to 8-foot snowbank. Give it another 5 snowstorms, where is the school gonna put the snow? Where's he gonna put the
that's
snow?
not his problem.
Okay, well, where's he gonna put the snow?
That's
It's just-
that's a legitimate question.
Well, so on your, but if it's a residential lot, it's not like he's plowing his backyard, like
Right.
that area, right?
Actually,
There's no
he
backyard.
does extremely small amount of snow he's gonna be taking off.
Right.
Yeah, I know. Can I talk now?
Absolutely.
Okay. My name is Sheila Duggan. I live at 23 Sanford Street. On Glens Falls. I received the notice that
Ma'am.
Mr. Mahados.
I need to have you on camera if you don't mind.
If you could come up
Okay, come
near
up
the
here.
front so we can get you on camera, thank you.
So I received Mr. Mahados' request for variances to construct a single-family dwelling at 5 Logan Avenue. The lot does not meet any of the requirements for the lot size, the width, the coverage, or yard measurements as listed in the City of Glens Falls code. The lot is significantly smaller than the 75 square foot minimum, and he is asking for an 8-foot backyard allowance when the minimum required is 25 feet. But that the City of Glens Falls created these codes to protect the neighborhoods and to ensure that everyone could live comfortably in the community. And then, of course, I was going to say the same thing. It sets in a precedent if these things are allowed. I mean, it's just a very small. Yeah. And so if he puts that unit in, and that's it, it's got the garage underneath, and then you've got an apartment higher, isn't there like a 35-foot limit for?
We're less than 35.
That's 3 stories, yeah.
It's a tight squeeze, that's for sure.
It is, I think they're trying to make do with a difficult lot. And they're addressing the challenges of the water by keeping it on and keeping a storage unit on the area that is actually permeable. The driveway is actually proposed as semi-permeable, right?
Right.
So I appreciate all of your, I mean, this is my only concern really, is regarding, I feel like it's both sides of the same coin, is that you got a negative situation, that you're a very dense situation where you're building something in a tight lot and you're closer to your neighbors, and then the thing that they're doing to address that is they're trying to pull the water away from the neighbors and bring it up to the front in the area. I'm not selling anything here, I'm just saying what I'm looking at. Although it is what they're asking for, they are also making significant moves to address that as well. That's all I can say.
I just don't need
selling
another
pro or
property
con.
right on top of me.
What's that?
I just don't need another property right on top of me.
So your
Not only on
objection.
top of me, it's elevated.
So would your objection also be, you don't want anything built there, regardless
Not
if it was
necessarily, I
setback?
have no problem with the Fraziers, who own the paint and wallpaper store.
Yeah.
So single story is where you're looking at.
Absolutely.
That's not a limit really, but, okay.
Was there parking with that?
Where I live?
No, with that wallpaper stuff.
No.
No, it's not over there.
No, so they would, they wouldn't be able to meet any of the parking.
Exactly.
That's why we're here. All of us are trying for the same reasons.
So the zoning laws
Flooding, the
came
parking.
after, unfortunately, the city is experiencing an issue with housing. I'm sure you guys are aware of that. And so we're trying to find a balance here between accommodating housing needs, which is, again, significant. And, there's a comprehensive plan going on outside of this room where discussion about zoning and density is very, very active.
Well, we've got 8 of the neighbors right here proposing this
I
project right now.
fully understand, but what he's asking for, he's asking for the setbacks, but as far as the structure that he's looking to build, that is within the zoning, criteria, so that's allowable.
Too much house for that lot.
What I'm curious about is, how small this lot is. What about the parking lot next door? How's that?
That's the schools.
Has
And
the
she
school,
lives right next to
has
that, and
school
she
been
doesn't
approached
want
about why there aren't any wells in that entire parking lot?
School doesn't.
Wells?
Yeah.
Dry wells.
The school doesn't.
If
Has the school been
if your
approached
public
by that?
system
School's
isn't
not
pulling the
concerned
water
about
properly, then the
They're
dry well would
concerned
minimize
about
the
it.
flash
I'm just asking
flooding
a
effect.
question for informational purposes.
He's proposing to pull the water.
Have you guys
and pull-
approached the school about it? Given the,
Drainage?
yeah. I mean, it's a massive parking lot, and there's not a single dry well in that parking lot.
We've got storm sewer pipes running through.
But a large portion of this conversation that has been brought to the record has
You're
been
saying.
about stormwater runoff. And this parking
Right.
lot here is, I don't know, visually speaking, 4 times larger than this lot here.
Right.
And there's not a single dry well.
If we were to follow that line of reasoning, there would be no more development in the city.
Exactly, that's where I'm going with that. So
Right.
there- it's
Yeah, you're basically saying
22,000 square foot
larger.
of straight blacktop.
Non-permeable.
Yeah.
you have a giant island that's leaking all that water off. And although he will have some, for sure, it's not nearly the problem of what your
Schools
other is.
created.
And I'm just saying, they're
Given
doing
the size-
something
given
to
the
address
size of
it.
the lot and the amount of permeability he's taking off of the lot, it'll actually be comparatively negligible compared to what's next door.
Years ago, before the paint and paper store was there, they processed gold.
Is it just lots?
Now, what about the environmental impact? They use acid
I
to
don't know.
process.
They have
That's
to
a-
excavate all that.
That's a
Never mind.
decision
Yep.
for the gentleman who owns the property.
I mean, it was condemned, that whole parking area, to be an excavation project, and about 25 years ago, 20 years ago.
Yeah, they said it's
Don't
not
get me wrong,
accurate.
we're sympathetic to it, but, it's
Hazardous material, I wouldn't do it on anyway.
there's,
Like I said, I've already got
This is a
two
small
buildings
lot.
right on top of me. And, you know, you're saying that's some sort of third.
It's a dense area.
Carriage house.
I just-
Kind of neat, 'cause there's
The
another
rules say you
carriage house
can't
on
do
the
it,
same
so
street.
let's stick with the
There's
rules.
another carriage house on the same.
Well, you know, arguably, the rules say he can build a house if he gets variances too. It's-
Shouldn't be granted,
That's why we're
it's
here.
too big.
That's why we're here.
Just, a question for you all.
The option of two stories.
Is there any way, like, in thinking with some of the comments about sort of view or you know, having it up there, like, any way to sort of do any screening or anything that might help with sort of the neighbors?
That's what I'm saying, it's a very dense area as it is.
He needs windows.
Doesn't change the
No,
area.
yeah,
There's actually legal
I'm just
requirements for
asking-
windows in
no, no,
bedrooms.
I'm just asking.
We have egress requirements that we have to
That
meet.
too.
I'm sorry.
We have egress requirements that we have to meet from bedrooms. You know, he's got windows that are on this side. We have a stairwell over here, and there's one window in the living area.
Just asking.
Yeah.
Yeah, living areas in the back.
I know you have another, Alice, you have another question?
Oh,
Hi,
sure.
yes, my name's Matt.
Can you come up that way? Sorry. I can't ask her to sit there.
She had something really nice
I'm
on
a
the side.
sexist bastard.
My name is Matt Gibb. I live at 2 Monroe Street, which is right here, sort of kitty corner to this lot. I was just wondering if there was a design of the building, because with how dense it is, I think all of us deal with snow from each other, hitting our fences, hitting each other's cars. Yeah, it's a real thing.
This is a shallow pitch with a asphalt shingle, so snow's not coming out from those.
Design through here.
And are you going to
I don't
live?
know if I call it a shadow.
Yeah.
pitch,
You were living.
but 612.
So is that pitch?
No, that's false. No,
Brian,
it's not. Agreed.
So, with how close it is to the property line, would that be,
What's the lot coverage on that house?
anything, ice or any other be falling into the neighbor's yard?
On that shallow pitch, snow's not coming off that, not with asphalt shingle.
What's the lot coverage allowable there?
Because the main concern for me was also the drainage that I wanted to bring up, that others have as well. It's a real problem.
This house right here.
The mayor has been there, the mayor-elect has been there. It's a real issue.
It's hard to say how much one additional home would impact that issue that's already existing.
Can I ask a question? If this, the school, I mean, school's a city school, if there was supposed to be dry wells there, why wouldn't that have been addressed years ago?
I don't know that there were supposed to be, it was just a question of whether or not they had been approached about it.
I wouldn't have thought of anything like that.
I mean, some of the schools have done green infrastructure projects.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the map here, at 26 Sanford. I mean, the entire thing is paved.
Absolutely.
It clearly exceeds lot
Who's
coverage.
26 Sanford?
I don't know, but I'm trying to get a good understanding of
This one on the corner.
the issues with drainage.
Which are
And,
graphics is.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if they got a variance, I don't remember seeing that.
Nope.
My time here since 20.
I've been there 39 years.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
You know, there's,
Yeah?
the point I'm getting at here, there's a lot more issues. This guy's trying to do it the right way. And there are
It doesn't
multiple
fit.
properties here that,
It doesn't fit.
When you say it doesn't fit, you mean what?
You can only have a certain percentage, your house can only be a certain percentage of the property, he exceeds it. And he's
So-
overlooking, you know, this guy was talking about a 10-foot fence, I've got a 6-foot or an 8-foot fence. It's like a 2-story or a story and a half, whatever he wants to call it. It's right on my border, right on my fence line.
So the setback variance that he's asking for is a result of making really a usable residence. It's small, it's 2 bedrooms. It's not some grand palatial, you know.
Do you have space to put trees in the backyard?
No.
There's 8 feet.
There's 8 feet back there, then you can plant it.
There is a fence that's falling down, so I'm willing to make it look a little nicer.
And you could also put, there could be some screening trees that could give more privacy. They can go taller than the fence.
Two cars.
It's not the second
You
floor.
can't really shrink it and also get two
It's
cars.
20 years.
No.
So the allowed lot coverage in the zoning district is 35%. The proposed is 44.8.
Yeah.
That's less than a 10%.
Yeah, agreed. With that said, they're already making moves to deal with that. I understand everyone's perspectives. I get it. I'm not trying to not be, insensitive to your thoughts, and I don't think he is doing anything. If he were appropriately set back at the same elevation, your objections would be the same, and yet he wouldn't need a variance. That the height and all that, and the use, it is a residential area. It is a residential application. There are 2-story residences right around there. So I don't think those characteristics make it not in keeping with the neighborhood. I do think it is a lot on a small scale, but I think that these are small lots, period. And
Well, what was there was a commercial business with 90% lot coverage.
Right.
In a residential
Right.
area.
Right. So
You're
this is
actually improving.
that's where I'm right.
That's what you're trying to say, right?
Well, I'm getting there.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't mind the kickstart forward. It's fine with me. I just think that, I said that from the very beginning, that it's a lot on a little, and at the same time, you're doing pretty much the things that you can do to minimize that impact.
A non-conforming lot, if you were to meet all the standards, it'd be an unusable lot.
You'd have a you'd have a 1 car. You couldn't have 2 car. Like, you shrink that anyway, that's it, no more 2 car. That's it.
It's just that you look at Jefferson Street, you look at Ogden Street, you look all around, and everything, those homes have become 2 families or rentals. I mean, Jefferson, one of them is like 4, and they're parking on the grass and everything. So our quality of life keeps diminishing.
He's gonna have his
I'll
truck
tell you, man,
inside.
you're not allowed
even
to park
see
on
it.
the grass, so please call building and codes when you see that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just looking at our quality of life. The city's
To that-
changing, and I realize that everybody has a lot of cars now where they can park and everything.
To his point, he's gonna have his cars hidden. They're gonna be inside that garage door.
And his trailer.
Yeah. So you're not gonna see anything.
I understand, I understand, but look at ours, I've been there for 45 years and I've seen all these changes, and it's Glens Falls, and I love Glens Falls,
Me
but
too.
it's changing, and it's just becoming more congested and more apartment buildings and everything.
Absentee windows.
Oh my God.
That's not what this is.
Yeah.
This is a gentleman building a
Single-family
home for him
residence.
to live in.
This
So
is a
we're-
residential
We're adding a new
area
person to our community.
for the
which
residential
we need more
application.
people in our community,
No change.
regardless if they're renters or
Yeah.
homeowners.
I
This
don't
is not
know what-
like
I
a
don't know
manufacturing
when-
plant put in your back.
I don't know when the last time was that lot, or even that corner, was residential. I mean, you've had a law
Sounds like an
office there,
improvement then.
You've had serigraphics, and then the little, a nail place, but so we're sure that it is a residential corner right there.
It's in the residential zoning district, yes.
It's an R1B.
Flood.
Meaning the use that we're discussing right now is absolutely in keeping with the zoned use. And yeah.
And you have one trailer, you say.
It doesn't matter if he has 10.
Yeah.
This is a
He's gonna keep it-
single-family residence
He's gonna
being
keep it
built
on
in
his
a
property, in
R1B.
his garage.
In the garage.
You're not gonna see it.
He can put it.
He can put it wherever he wants. That's not what this is
I
about.
agree.
It's,
But if he's gonna park it on Logan,
what
it
he's
is a
asking
problem.
for is not going to
Dream.
drastically change the character of the neighborhood.
I agree.
It is within his right to come and ask for the setback variances because he can build a home on that lot.
Correct.
There are homes I am looking at on this map right now that exceed lot coverage. I mean, it's not even hard to see whether it's through straight blacktop or an entire home. The home on the corner of Sanford and Monroe.
That was built in.
Like-
I mean, beautiful home, don't get me wrong.
It was built in 1927.
But we seem to be pitching like this is what's causing it
But-
all, when that's not.
So
It's simply
there
not.
are a lot of the things that we have to look at, they don't really rise to the level of us having to say, no, this is a no-go here.
I really think it's gonna boost up your neighborhood. You know, it's an empty lot.
And the
we can
use of
agree
it
to
isn't
disagree.
keeping with what your area is, residential. You're not having a nail salon, you're not having something like that, that's all permeable with a parking lot where everything. I mean, even his parking area
think
that he's
it's very-
proposing is permeable
permeable.
and holds the water, so he's actually helping, not hurting,
And one
in
of
that
the,
regard.
one of the criteria that we have to look at is if this is a self-imposed issue that he has, and given the lot size, this is not self-imposed. So literally by the letter of the code, you can't actually hold that against him. We have to look at that and say, nope, he's good to go here with that criteria. Changing the character of the neighborhood, that is also one of the criteria we have to consider here. And he is not changing the character of the neighborhood. And in fact, there is an argument to be made that, given what was there previously, which was brought on record,
Right.
the wallpaper place, this is an improvement.
No, it's not. That's your opinion.
Here,
We were brought
Not
on, it was brought to record that there was a concern about lot coverage
Brazier's painting
that
glass.
has to
looking
do
into my backyard.
with drain issues. And that was there before. And it just so happens that right now it is empty, but that's not what was there.
They closed at 5 o'clock, there was no windows into my backyard, there was no nothing.
I recognize your, how you feel about this, I do, I am sympathetic to it, but what we have to consider here, they're two different things. They're different things, it's different criteria.
Well, the
It's
neighbors
in the code, it is different criteria that we have to consider, and who's meeting that criteria.
It's gonna add to the congestion, the school buses that have
They
to go
don't
down Sanford.
The school has been closed, and there's less traffic now since Sanford Street School closed.
It's not closed.
They're still using.
It's not a full-time school like it used to be. They don't have full enrollment there like they used to be. It is less vehicle traffic than there was 10 years ago. or
There's
15
buses
years ago.
lined up almost to Sanford Street in the morning.
23 buses.
I'm
This
familiar.
gentleman's not
I'm
riding
familiar.
a bus
I know.
there.
Yeah.
It's not-
Do you want me to do seeker?
Yes, let's.
Yes,
do
please.
seeker.
With respect to seeker, I would classify this as a type 2 action under 617.5C17. It's the granting of an area variance for a single-family, two-family, or multifamily residence. Therefore, no further action is required by the board.
Yep, we're good.
Make a motion.
We have a motion to approve variance, area variance 250019. We're seeking area variances to construct a single-family dwelling with a rear yard setback of 8 feet, side yard setbacks at 6 feet 2 inches, and a side yard setback of 6 feet 6 inches respectively. We also are seeking relief from the maximum lot coverage threshold.
A second.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Check in with building codes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The neighbors love you.
All right, okay, and that is the end of our agenda. I have a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Yeah, all in favor? Aye. All right, everyone. Happy holidays. See you next month. In the new year.